Didn't listen to me then, I bet they feel me now. Time don't let me lose it. The booth not about to prove it. I set goals and pursue it. You the best to never do it. Invest my money talking fluent, stupid, ducking the Judas. It broke my heart, but over my eyes, you have no honor, I have no choice. Chasing the commas till I'm gone. I've been left for a minute. On my way home, mama, I promise, got caught up in it. Damn. Everybody eats when I'm batting at the plate. First, second, third, home, $1 million babe.
Ladies and gentlemen,
they'll front, they'll hate on
welcome to the show.
Hotep Jesus, I love that guy. He's terrific.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Welcome to the show, y'all. It's a wonderful, beautiful day. Shout out to my sponsor, Syscoin, the best of Bitcoin, the best of Ethereum. I'll see them April. We'll be in Austin, Texas with the whole Syscoin gang. That's going to be wonderful. That's going to be terrific. Can't wait to get with them. Patrick, the whole squad down there. That's going to be amazing. Bitcoin Miami coming up. Check my Twitter feed if y'all want tickets. I got the Hotep Jesus is the official coupon code to get a discount for Bitcoin Miami tickets. Shout out to Men of Order. And of course, y'all know Master Focus, the thing that keeps my brain sharp. TryMasterFocus.com. If you are a listener, I'll change your membership down to $40 a month if you watch my streams. Just after you got to get the first for subscription full price. Get the first subscription, your first month, pay full price. Thereafter, I will reduce it to $40. It'll be $40 for you from there on for life or until you cancel. In that case, well, I can't do anything about that. But today's guest is a very special one. We have an icon in the building, Tony X. What up, bro?
Shout out to my brother Hotep Jesus, because the icon in the building is really my brother Hotep Jesus, man. Can you hear me? Everybody can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you good. Yup.
Yeah,
loud and clear. I appreciate that. That's love, bro. That's love.
You know, shout out to the real originator. You know, the man that was this everybody knowing this, my brother Hotep, y'all watching him, but what I don't understand is that a lot of people that's running around here getting a lot of money owe thanks to Hotep Jesus. You understand what I'm saying? So shout out to my bro, because for real, he put a lot of people on. You know, he got a lot of integrity, you know what I mean? Super Sigma male. It's my brother, man. Shout out to you. I appreciate being here, man.
Hey, man, that's love. I appreciate that, especially coming from somebody like you who's been a staple in the culture, been a staple in hip-hop culture, been doing great work out here and, you know, has a high amount of integrity himself. For people that don't know, me and Tony tend to stay in contact quite often. You know, he might not speak every day or every week or every month, but I hear from this brother and he hears from me several times a year. We'll collab on Instagram. If you guys aren't following us on Instagram, make sure you get with us on Instagram. We've done Instagram lives together and had really beautiful, fruitful conversations. So I'm no stranger to this brother. So usually it's a lot harder for me to do interviews with people I'm no stranger to, because it's like, you know, I want to ask the questions that the people you know, want instead of the questions that I have, because, you know, I just, you know, we have that bond, we have that relationship. But we spoke last week And you know, we talked for about I want to say 30 minutes or so, and you know, we said we were going to do this stream today. Um, I want to know right now what made you make the switch, because you were in New York, you were New York based. I never asked you this outside, but what made you switch from New York to go Texas based, and when did that switch happen?
So I still have like property and stuff in New York, right?
Okay.
But the thing is, if you make $1 million in New York, after taxes, you might take home close to 6 if you're lucky, right? So because you know they're gonna hit you, the state, the feds, they're gonna hit you. So
Yeah.
just being a smart man, I'm just not gonna continue to stay somewhere and be raped. You know what I mean? Like then I ran for Congress and I ran for the United States Senate. I got a crazy mouth. They tried to kill me in New York. People can say whatever they want. But when I'm in New York, someone blows a stop sign, smacks into my car to try to have me go. They tried to have me go into oncoming traffic, right? So me being a veteran driver, I ride motorcycles. So if anybody ride motorcycles and anyone, they would know. They would know exactly what I'm saying. Everything slows down. You understand? This is hard to explain it, but for anybody that rides a motorcycle, they understand exactly what I'm saying. Everything slows down. So when I seen the guy coming, yeah, I couldn't get all the way out the way, but I got enough where he just hit the back end of the car and I was able to get out of the way from, because somebody who was coming, he was trying to smack into me. Like the guy was trying to smack into me. I avoided it. And 3 days later, I'm on the phone with my shorty. I'm on the phone with my girl. And boom, car totals her out, smacks into her. You would think the ambulance, everybody would rush to her. No, they didn't. It was a black truck. They ran, got the truck off the scene, got the guy off the scene. Then they went and they tended to her. They did that to her while I was on the phone with her, talking to her on the phone. So it just got to a point where in order for me to be able to know I can be safe and to know I can have all the guns legally around me that I need to have around me and everything else, second home is Texas. So you go down to Texas, dust off the cars, put the lights on, and here I am.
Wait.
So it wasn't like I don't love New York. It just got to a point where it's just easier to kill me in New York than it is in Texas.
Wait. So you think this is an orchestrated attempt on your life?
Definitely.
Wow.
Even starting this new year. Someone tried to run me off the road. Like out here. One of my cars has paneling inside of it that's a level 2, right? So it's not going to do much, but it should do enough to get me, to be able to get up and go. You know what I mean? But the other one is a sports car, and the other one's just a regular car. I was in the car that has a level 2 paneling inside of it. So the person, I wasn't really afraid because they would have to fire through their car, whatever. But I called 911, bro. I swear, my mother could drop dead right now. I'm not a dude who calls the cops, but I'm expecting them to pick up within maybe 30 seconds. The phone rang for 3 minutes and 911 didn't answer my phone call. Listen, you can say whatever you want. I'm king conspiracy theorist, but I am nobody's dummy. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like the dude tried to run me off the road and try to put me in a ditch. You feel me? And I'm trying to call these people like, yo, because if push comes to shove, I don't mind killing the dude. You understand what I'm saying? But at least let me try to call to get them on the phone so everything's being recorded. You understand what I'm saying? Like, then I could do whatever I got to do to defend myself. But at this point, bro, 3 minutes has passed and nobody's picked up the phone. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, nobody's picked up the phone. I'm like, yo, what the hell? This is literally before the new year kicked in. Yeah. I got off the road, was like, I'm taking the chill for now. I'm relaxing.
Oh, my God. All right. Real quick, I want to backtrack a little bit. You mentioned level 2 paneling. For people that don't know what that is, basically me, can you tell me what you mean by that level 2 panel?
It stops certain firearms, from being able to like go through the car. Like literally, bro, if I could take this camera off right now and switch and like go to my cars, you would see a vest and everything inside of them. Like I'm not lying to nobody. Like if anybody know me, I have a guest here now. She flew here from Florida, so she'll be on my podcast tomorrow. Like if anybody thinks that I'm lying, she'll be live in studio. She'll tell you she's here. She's staying in my house. She's staying in the room in my house, and she'll tell you. She'll say, "Yeah, this nigga got vests and everything around him." Like I literally have to live like that. Like I literally have. Like I'm telling you, like the point where you know these people's secrets and then you start telling it, you're gonna have a problem. Trust me, you're gonna have a problem. If not to make you go insane, enough to make you want to do something. Even now, friends popping out the blue. You got friends talking about, I got these kind of drugs or this kind of drugs, and I'm sitting there like, you don't know I will call the police on you right now. You know what I'm saying? I just ran for Congress. Yeah. But I know what they're doing. They're sending people at me that I knew from before or in my past in order to try to trip me up, thinking that I'm a typical nigga. Because that's what they usually do, right?
Yeah.
Resort back to what they know.
Who wants to do this? The powers that
I think the United States government wants to do it. I think those who are working within the CIA want to do it because I'm very vocal. I've been vocal from the very beginning. Everybody wants to point the blame at each other. Everybody watching this, you guys need to understand this. It doesn't matter if you're a liberal or a Republican, they've all lied to you. This is all theater. They're all friends. These people been knew about what was going on. Hunter's laptop is no surprise to nobody. I promise you that much. And if it is, it's only to a select few who are not in the no group. But this is like college. This is like school. The whispers, the locker room, jesters, the rumors, everything happens like that on the Capitol as well. No one is oblivious to how corrupt these people are because all of them are corrupt together.
Right.
So from the very beginning, I've been telling people like, yo, the CIA, once they officially killed JFK and got rid of him, they then went to remove people that were involved that helped them do it, like the mafia, right? Mm-hmm. Like individuals who were actually there, like Howard Hunt, the actual person who handed out the money to Sturgis and the other snipers that were there. He was shot at by 6 men that day 16 times. JFK. This is all facts.
Yeah.
So when I break it down, I tell people, like, ever since they killed him, they have been putting these presidents in place outside of Trump. They've been putting all of these people into power.
Right.
And they made Reagan relax. They shot Reagan. They took 2 attempts on his life because they wanted Bush to take over because Bush was acting CIA then. Yeah. Same way he trained the snipers. So I've been vocal about it. I'm not somebody who's telling people, you need to be a Republican or the liberals are the worst. Yeah, the liberals are stupid too. And so are a lot of Republicans. And at the end of the day, either way, shape, or form, if you're not thinking about freedom, if you're not thinking about trying to secure this nation, then all you're doing is participating in what they want us to do, which is remain divided and continue to argue with each other. Going towards why we spoke about a week ago and about doing this live.
But don't you think it makes more sense to vote Republican over Democrat at this point?
I think it makes more sense to vote for record and truth and never vote for a Democrat. So I would much rather vote for an independent. I would much rather find an independent that has a record. If I can't find a conservative candidate that has a record of service in their community and actually living the life that they're talking about, if I can't find someone that's willing to engage people or even on the other aisle and be charismatic enough to get some things done, then he cannot get my vote. And outside of that, this whole system is too corrupt right now. This are like literally just a handful of people, Jim Jordan, Matt Gaetz, Marjorie Greene. There's just a handful of people that we know we can absolutely put some trust in because we know we really can't trust nobody else. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, I mean, do we keep 3, 4, 5, maybe 10 people between the House and the Senate and start all over again? Bro, it's just bad. It's bad all the way across the board. So for me, it's bad. I just know there's no way I can lie to people and tell people in confidence to just go ahead and vote Republican. All the censorship happened and Republicans had no problem allowing it to happen. All of the bank fraud, all of this shit happened. Republicans do not care. They let Joe Biden's son jump on those planes and they let him go deal with them little babies. They let them go to Jeff Epstein's island. They knew about Jeffrey Epstein. This is not something that is new. This is not something that is new to nobody. They all knew about it. So I'm not going to lie to my followers. I'm not going to lie to your followers either. I'm not saying that everybody's bad, but I'm saying it's bad. It's bad. So give it a buck.
So it seems like you've exempted some people from this list, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, Matt Gaetz, et cetera, et cetera. But the Republicans, under fire, what exactly, are you seeing with the Republican Party that's wrong that makes you say, like, you know, they can't be trusted either? I know we've seen a laundry list of things. Democrats can easily come up with a laundry list of things. But for the people that are listening and don't know, what is it about the Republican Party that you don't like and you'd like to fix?
They never engage the inner city with actual inner city candidates. You cannot take these milk duds and continue to drop them in front of these people that come from areas where I grew up. Women are performing fellatio tonight in order to make do and pay rent. Where I come from tonight, a young man is going to lose his life at a very early age. So the people where I come from, where you come from, these areas, these individuals need to hear a message, but more so need to see action. You can't keep giving us these people we can't relate to because they're the same color as we are, because it means absolutely nothing. Because I can look at you and tell if you've been punched in your face before. I can look at you and tell if you've ever had your rights violated. I can look at you and tell if you mean what you say. So when you bring, can I speak freely on here? Can I say what I want to say? Can I say what I want to say?
Yeah, and
when
we're
you bring
also
these niggas in front of my face, that's fake, that's frauds. And then you keep pushing these niggas in my face. And I know that none of these people that you are showing me knows what it's like to put some syrup on the bread and eat it, because that's all you got in the house. I can't relate to it. And then the people that can relate to it, you quash them. People like myself, people like Hotep Jesus. You made a comment, you made a tweet, you said, damn, now they calling me an extremist and a black nationalist. Like, okay, but what was wrong with that? What's wrong with being a black nationalist? What's wrong with it? Like, what's wrong with being happy with being black? And my nationality is an American, a black American. What's wrong with it? Because if you really look at the words, then what is wrong with it? But people, they know that when they can't hold you into a specific group, they got to destroy you, because your following, greater than mine, but still similar, right, is full of free thinkers. We don't have people around that's just like, he didn't say what I wanted him to say, so I'm leaving. That's it. You understand what I mean? It's like people be like, I don't like what you said, Hotep, but you know, I still rock with you, because they remember. You understand? This is not the here today, going tomorrow stuff. Whereas these people on both sides present these consumer BSers. So they prop on both sides. They put money behind them, put their little shows behind them and everything else. This is my studio that I paid for myself. This is no, it's nice. I got a lot of nice stuff in here, but I paid for it out of pocket. There isn't a set. I didn't go and get paid by Ben Shapiro and no one else to sit in front of him. The same way you built yours is the same way I built mine, King. You feel what I'm saying? So it didn't come easy. Nobody controls what we say. No one can tell us what we can and can't say. And this is the big difference. So if they don't have control over you, you are a problem. And here's where we stand right now. They're going to continue to send these little no good niggas and continue to confuse people. Just like one little ninja, she ran out there and just put out a documentary. She put out a documentary about a dude who's dead. I could talk about the dude that was in the conservative movement that I told her was giving people HIV. And when I told her and Brandon Tatum and other people, that clown tried to call me a clown. Clown? You, Brandon, talking to you. So when I sent them the audio of what this dude did, they tried to tell me, oh, well, he tried to go on someone's post. They're not here to defend himself. Neither is George Floyd. And I'm not here to try to crack on nobody. I'm just here to call the hypocrisy what it is. Because either you're going to be a Christian and you're going to pray for these people, because at the end of the day, they're dead. They can no longer pray for themselves. They're being judged by the greatest of all judges. I don't have it in me to condemn somebody. And I'm not even trying to say that these people can't change.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say that they can't see the circumstances for what they are and decide to say, I'm going to change. Or you can open your mouth and act like you want the smoke because I want all of it too. That's how I'm feeling these days, Hotep. I'm tired of the fake shit. I'm tired of the frauds. I'm tired of people getting paid to divide people, because China's not telling their population to argue over political ideas and ideologies. China's population isn't creating social media platforms in order to attack each other, and we live in the same fucking country and got to breathe the same fucked up air. So all I'm saying is stop the bullshit. Stop. We could take people from the left. We could take people from the left. There are people who are strong over there, know something is wrong. They want to be able to join something, but this table is not made for them. And if they see a table and there's a banquet and it's full of food and everyone else is over there talking and they're talking some great things, but they're not even invited because they don't feel invited, then we got to change it. Stop talking about that stuff that we know is sensitive to the Black community, because we already know. You can't tell me. The Sister Candace can't say the Black community, 70% of the household single parent, highly uneducated. You can't tell me that you know these two specific things and then tell me that you would produce something or create something that you know that this group of individuals would not take kind to. And I'm not saying you can't do what you want to do. I'm saying that with lack of education, what happens is you lack understanding. And without understanding, your first natural instinct will be that of anger. You're gonna create frustration in a community of people who do not have the education or excuse the camera, and or lack the understanding of what's happening. You have had the opportunity of having this education. You're very articulate. You've done a lot with yourself, but the majority of people that look like us don't have that. They don't. The whole entire time you're sitting there talking about Brexit, and none of these people went into any of these communities that I mentioned initially to go and change anyone's perception. And all we do is continue to hear about how the left is this or how the left is that. And it's not the left. It's the corporations. It's the Rothschilds, the Morgans, and the other three families that control and own everything. So if we're not going to point the finger at the people that's actually doing it, then all we're doing is feeding into the machine. And if we're feeding into the matrix, then we're not freeing minds from the matrix. We're imprisoning minds in the matrix. All we're doing is completing a cycle of making sure people are trapped here so they can't see outside of it. I deserve to live like you deserve to live. I deserve respect like you deserve respect. It doesn't matter what your political idea is, because the reason why the people are even thinking the way they're thinking is because they've been programmed. Again, you cannot have the information and then not act on it. How can you be so intelligent but yet act so stupid? If everyone is being programmed, if they're being indoctrinated, if people are being raised to be bigoted and prejudiced, if the news media is constantly lying to you, everyone knows that they are. They know that all of the movies are lying to you. They know everything's a lie. Then how can you expect these people to even know the truth when you know it? And if your approach is to tell these people that they're stupid because they don't know, then how would they learn it? I'm not trying to shit on nobody.
Right.
At the end of the day, it is what it is, but I'm going to call a spade, because if I don't, then I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. And I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. So, dude try to call me a clown, saying that this dude not here to defend himself. And I'm not even mentioning this dude's name. The dude that I'm talking about that was giving these people, that was out because he supposedly passed away. So out of respect, I'm not even mentioning his name, but I got the audio. He tried to pass it to my cousin. This is what I'm saying, but how would I not know that?
A disease.
Yeah. So how would I not know that? I'm in New York. I live there. Why would I say something about somebody and that person's dead and not expect repercussions? Because I'm for whatever. Did a whole show. Me and Young Pharaoh, that went viral. There's no way in the world somebody can't tell me like I'm ducking something. It's nothing I've been ducking. Treat people the same. So, there's a ton of things you could have done a documentary on. Joe Biden's son is a pedophile. A whole laptop shows it. You could have done an in-depth documentary on how they hid it, how they lied about it, how the FBI had the information to it. That would have been a very informative documentary. And it would have lasted a lot longer, and it would have created more truth tellers, more truth seekers, because it wouldn't have been something that was programmed to put people off. I'm not saying you can't tell the truth about George. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying for what? He's already dead. Years have passed already. But actively, as a nation, we have a threat in front of us that we need to deal with. And if you're not talking about Rothschilds, Morgans, and the other three, then you're not saying anything.
So what you're saying is, if I'm gathering this correctly, because we'll clear something up for me really fast, because I know Candace put out the Black Lives Matter documentary. You're saying she has another one just on George Floyd?
So that's one that Kanye West was talking about.
Which one? The Black Lives Matter one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm not even against you just exposing the Black Lives Matter shit, right? I'm just saying that you got to know she's a brilliant woman. You have to understand that you're feeding into the machine. The left is going to take this video and say you're a white supremacist enthusiast or a tool for white supremacy or whatever the left is going to say. But you would have to know that they're going to feed into it, causing controversy. And if you're selling content, you don't really care because they're going to watch it anyway, right? Because it's about selling, right? So you have to create something that's going to create controversy. But what about doing something that really means something? Because they would have talked about you bad if you would have said that white boy that was smoking crack on that plane and raping them little babies was a pedophile. Hunter Biden. If you would have came out and said that, if you would have came out and talked about his crack pipe use and how dudes is doing the rest of their lives in jail for a quarter of some crack while he smoked crack on Air Force Two, then you would have something that would unite everybody.
Yeah.
You would have people that would unite on the left and the right because they see exactly what it is.
Yeah. Okay, so I just looked it up. I think you're referring to this documentary. I had not I wasn't clear on this. So on the second anniversary of George Floyd's death, Candace revisits Minneapolis and the violent, racially divided aftermath that fueled BLM's global rise and filled its coffers. So she coupled this with the George Floyd situation. Okay, so this is a Black Lives Matter George Floyd expose. I see what you're saying here.
Yo, I get the sister wanted to expose Black Lives Matter too.
Yeah.
Right? Yo, I really get it. And the work needed to be done, right?
Mm-hmm.
But again, she's a brilliant woman. We both know her, right?
Yeah.
She's a very brilliant woman.
Yes.
So why couldn't we have done it a way that didn't put people on the left against us? For those who are who are in the middle and on the right, right?
Yeah.
Why couldn't we have just said they used this brother's death as a way to extort money?
Right.
And get money from corporations and everything else. Why couldn't we just broke that down and just showed that? Because when I'm in New York and I go to the studio, last time I was in the studio, I told you I was in the studio, Jim Jones. I was in there, Mano. Lo and behold, George Floyd's brother is in the studio. Approached me. Yo, people think some things are a psyop. Some people, all right, there's some fishy stuff behind it. That's because they used his death in a very fishy way. They used his death in a very fishy way. But his brother is not rich. He didn't make a ton of money. Them lesbian ladies made a ton of money and moved around a bunch of white folks.
Okay, so Candace Owens is very popular amongst the right. You know, when you disparage her, aren't you afraid of, losing some popularity or losing some people?
No. Listen, it proves my point. If anything that I said is a lie, sue me. I got text messages showing a lot of other stuff about people picking candidates because of their color and not because of their standing on their record. I don't even think that I'm disparaging her. I think I'm just keeping it a whole 100.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, people would say, I don't like that Tony X smokes, or I don't like that he uses profanity so much. Okay.
Fuck 'em.
Maybe I won't smoke so much. I don't. I think I've stopped a lot, but hey, a good critique works every now and again. But everything I said is factual. It makes no sense. She's a brilliant woman. So why would you create something that is not building everything? You have a platform where you could introduce people on the left to a lot of information they are not privy to.
Can I
And
try,
in a way,
can I try to
brother.
Can I try to answer that question and tell me what you think?
Go ahead.
Because I saw I think it was a Substack last week with a Caucasian woman that was a leftist who left Daily Wire, and she left Daily Wire over basically remarks about the trans community. Or how Matt Walsh was positioning himself as sort of the enemy of that group of people. And that's not what she signed up for. But the point I'm trying to make is one thing she said was the goal, this is based upon her Substack. She said the goal of these organizations is basically to rile up their base, charge up their base. There's not really a goal of unity or solution. It's more about charging up the base, and that's their mission. I think the left practices this too. Do you find flaw in that tactic, or
If you're riling up the base, then bro, you're using them. Everybody's supposed to be used. We're not supposed to be misused. To have me energetic for your purpose, I'm a politician. I take 100 of your supporters and I have them go take their time and energy to go march, scream, and yell, all for a subject, because I'm telling them is one thing, but all I really want to do is show my power. All I really want to do is show my influence. I don't care about what these people really want. I don't care. I don't care at all. And I'm going to continue to win with them because I'm the guy that gave them a platform to complain about. But in the end, I didn't do shit for them. And that's what's happening with all of these so-called platforms and groups. And they'll let you go up there. They'll use you to make a shit ton of money off of the beautiful things you say that allows it to go viral so they can keep getting money off of these algorithms and everything else. But I can promise you, ain't shit gonna change. The shit is not gonna change because there's no fucking money in it. The money is in hate. Or they will be telling you like I'm telling you. You need to sit down with somebody and tell them what you think is wrong, or be like me and hear them out first. I don't give a fuck what political side they on. Everybody know everything's fucked up. So you let them speak and say what's up, and then when you know that they're saying some things and they may be passing it on Trump and it ain't his fault, but you know the answer, don't stop them. Let them continue to speak, make the mental notes or write that shit down. And then when it's your turn to speak, say what you know is wrong first and let them agree. Then after you're done, you break down what they thought Trump did and you show them the truth about this shit. Now, when you got them in all agreement, congratulations. I just gave you a way to red pill people because everybody knows something is wrong. I personally don't even want to beef with nobody. But if I got to, then it's whatever. I know everybody could do better if everybody worked together. But I'm for sure nobody clown. I'm for sure nobody joke. I'm for sure really about that life. That's some real, that like all of that, like the shit that like people don't understand, like I take that shit very personal. Very personal. This is not a game for you people who jumped in there, came in my live talking. This is not a game. I'm making you a promise. I promise you, I am like that. And when I see you, I hope you are like that too. That's a promise. Because you stepped in something you don't realize you stepped in it. You should have shut up and you should have mind your business.
When it comes to the solutions, I think you nailed something. You said there's no money in it. There's only money in hate. And that's what I'm saying. My channel doesn't grow as fast as I would like it to, or as fast as my followers would like it to. They always say, how come your channel doesn't grow? And I think it's because we don't take those hateful hard right or hard left stances. That's the stuff that gets clicks. That's the stuff that feeds the algorithm. But where do we go from here? Knowing that we're not going to see the dollars, knowing that we're not going to get the clicks. Is it a dead end for us, or is there some hope? Are you white pilled? Are you black pilled? Like,
yo, bro, I'ma stay rich. And when I die, I'm going to die richer than I was when I was alive. And as long as I live, I'm going to make sure everything that I do never relies on something that somebody could take from me. You feel me? So right now in my office, there's a ton of toys in here. Toys when we were little kids. I have an online store. I sell vintage toys online. I sell designer clothes online. Like real, legit designer clothes online. I go to garage sales and go buy shit from garage sales if I got to put that shit online to sell it. I got different online stores and everything else. Not only that, my home is a business. Front office is a medical business. There's a medical office in the front office. Patients get seen every day in that front office. This is a business. Life is a business. So nothing these people could do. When you met me, bro, I was in the Trump. I was there with my girl. We paid for our stay there. No one paid for us. I stayed there for the whole month. Like this, that's just no cap. You know, a lot of them people that was there with us, you know, a lot of people gave them money. They didn't have anything. They just started to see money.
Yeah, they were sponsored.
They just started to see money.
Yeah.
Just started. I never had that issue.
Yeah.
People would say, oh, he sold drugs. He sold drugs. I don't sell drugs. And I'm not. And I have no reason to. But I'm going to make a shit ton of money until the day that I die. And I'm going to continue to do it. And when I'm dead, I'm going to die richer than I was when I was alive. I'm going to take care of my family even better in death. This is what it is. There's no money in it. That's why I get money everywhere else. But there's money in hate. And if I stood here every day and I was like, the left and Nancy Pelosi and the left. But if I never said Mitch McConnell, I would win. If I shaved my face to the butt naked baby rapist face like they be doing, you know them politicians do that. They be sharing all the hair off their face. They don't want to show you no manhood at all. Just go in there with the bare rapist face. You know, that's what we say in jail when they got the no hair on their face. You come here looking like a rapist, man. Grow some hair on your face, fam. But that's how them politicians look. And that's how they want them to look. That's how they want them to look, bro. I can't do it. I can't play nice. I can't sit there and tell you guys, oh, Mitch McConnell is just, you should give him a chance. So no, I cannot do that. He is a devil. He is a devil. He's a devil. And I'm gonna call it what it is. It just is what it is. There's just no way around it. I can't play nice. I can't know the truth and then lie, bro. I just can't do it. The CIA put all these people in power. They know what their vices are. That's why they give them the money and then put the clout behind them and then put their televisions behind them. You had Andrew Gilliam. He came a butt heads close to beating Ron DeSantis. Get it? Beating Ron DeSantis. But instead, he got his guts beat out of him inside of a hotel room. He was getting funky rolled by bodybuilders. And this man came a butt heads close to beating Ron DeSantis. And they knew. You don't think they was in his phone? Eric Snowden told us, but anyone with sense know the principle remains. Back in the 40s, when you made a telephone call, an operator had to patch you through. She was able to hear the whole conversation. It remains the same principle. It's just digitized now. They can hear everything. The NSA hears everything. They know what's in his phone. They know what's in everyone's phone. They know what we're doing. They know where we are. They know what we're doing tonight. They know who our loved ones are talking to. That's why they're compiling all of the information. That's why all of this is happening. That's why they share it globally. They're not beefing with China. No, they're working together to kill everybody off. It's fake. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I can't lie. I gotta hit my dude with a little bit more of them super chats. But shout out to Ken and Bowman in the building, bro. I appreciate that super chat because we trying to bring out a lot tonight. He told me I ain't gotta hold back, so I ain't holding back tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Y'all make sure y'all show that brother some love, please.
I get love sometimes in the super chats. Rudy the Vet Russo, I appreciate you. I get a little love in the super chats. You know, it'll come eventually. If you guys want to participate in this conversation, you can hit the super chat, ask a question, make a comment. Always appreciate it. $, Hotep Jesus on Cash App. What do you make of the 2024 race? Where are you at? You
vote for Trump. I'm voting for the
DeSantis?
dude that took us to the dance. Hell no, I would never vote for DeSantis.
Why?
And the only way I would vote for DeSantis is if he's Trump's son. That's it.
You mean VP?
If Trump don't pick him to work under him, then it's no go. Look, bro, realistically speaking, bro, he almost lost to Andrew Gilliam. Like he was a butt head close. And if it wasn't for Trump, he would have never gotten office. I appreciate what he's doing for Florida. I do. I appreciate what he's doing for Florida. But running the country and running the state is two totally different things. And then imagine what Donald Trump would do with everyone knowing the truth. And so many people within, just the public alone knowing the truth about everything. Imagine how many people will actually be with him in his policies now Whereas before, the media had carte blanche and calling him a racist and saying a whole bunch of lying shit about him. Imagine now him having an opportunity to actually be a president, because he fought scandal after scandal after scandal, simultaneously fucking them up and still running the shit out of this country. Imagine if this dude just get to run the shit out the country. Imagine that. I think that Russia would even try Ron DeSantis. I don't think that they would think he just comes off more as a let's get along kind of guy. And Trump comes off as the kind of guy that will smack the shit out of you. I would rather run with the guy that's going to smack the shit out of somebody than the guy that's going to want to calm everything down. And sometimes you need to calm everything down, but sometimes you just can't.
Yeah.
And I want the guy that's, because it just seems like if it gets funky, Ron DeSantis is going to just be like, no, man, you know, and he's going to try to tell, no, whoa. And Trump's going to be like, nah, fuck that. And we're going to punch someone in the face. So I'm personally going to stick with my guy. I'm not going to be one of these conservatives jumping ship and they want to go with Ron DeSantis. If they do, that's their business. To me, they traitors. Because Donald Trump exposed pretty much everything to us. People are going to say, oh, the vaccine. He was lied to just like we were. This nigga's not a biologist. He's not a rocket scientist. He was told a bunch of BS. He believed that it came from different sources. He thought it was real. It was a fucking lie. They lied to him just like they lied to us. And if they ran in that nigga house and treated him like a black nigga in the projects, went through his shit and his wife's panty drawer and everything else, I can for sure believe to the bottom of my heart, they lied to that man about the efficacy of that vaccine, and they lied to that man about the rollout and everything else. I do not believe they gave him an earnest opinion, assuming that it came from Fauci, and then he did fire Fauci too before he left.
Yeah, that's true. He definitely did. I was watching a Bryson Gray stream today, and Bryson is hypercritical of Trump. And I think a lot of people, well, I think the name of the stream was something about, you know, Bryson's getting canceled for, you know, going against MAGA or something like that. I don't think he's endorsing DeSantis. I'm not sure yet. But I thought that was quite interesting because I know Bryson, you know, he was one of Trump's biggest supporters. You don't think
Isn't that
Trump...
the dude with the big red hat? Told you would never take it off his head. Isn't that the dude that didn't even have a Jesus Christ chain on or a cross on? He had the MAGA chain on. If he's officially going against MAGA, and I think that everything that says it itself from what it is.
Well, I don't know if he's officially going against MAGA. I think what he's trying to say is if you criticize Trump, then the base will turn on you, right?
That's true to some extent.
That's true, right? That's what I'm saying. I think
to some extent, I'm not against him saying that. If he said that, then that's true. But if he's saying like DeSantis is better than Trump, then I'm not rocking with that.
Nah, I don't think
what it is.
I don't think he was saying that. I think he had some criticisms about Trump, and you know how the internet is. Everybody got all upset.
I think that in that case, and I hate to be the guy to defend the guy, but I think that in that case, that boiled down to the post that I recently put on Instagram, where I talked about the 4 black brothers that was, the 4 black people that was in Mexico. 2 was murdered and 2 was kidnapped.
Mm-hmm.
And I posted it up and I said that the Daily Mail is racist. I said, what does the past of these people have to do with the fact that they're victims? And then I had people on the post saying this, and the third, and they're like, no, they're past mine, this, and the third. And they're like, because they went there to get drugs. And I'm just sitting there like, all of this stuff is coming from people who are squares. Because the cartel is here in the States. You don't need to go to Mexico in order to get a connect. It's absurd. You can get it right here. Anybody from the streets know that. That's why, for me, I'm looking at my page and I'm looking at the comments and I'm just sitting there like, man, the people that follow me from the streets are either doing this or they're just like, what the is going on with his following? But I put it up there for a reason, because I needed for people to be exposed to. He should have every right to have a grievance against his government. If he don't like something that Trump said or did, he should be able to say it, bro. And no one should be against him for saying it. You understand what I'm saying? But if this is the dude that had the hat on his head, that had the chain on, if he's saying like F MAGA, then that would be a problem, because I mean, you got a lot of music that say all of that stuff too. I don't think that he will go against them. I think that he's just being earnest. No, I think that he's just being earnest, because in all actuality, yeah, you're gonna have people who are gonna try to go against you because you said something they didn't like. If you don't agree with everything lockstep, like I said, how it is, some people are just really crazy with that shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you don't agree lock and step, then I hate your guts. And I know, okay, whatever. I'm just somebody who's just more so understanding that, yeah, Trump's my guy because the CIA ain't pick him. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
if they picked him, I would tell you they picked him.
yeah,
You understand what I'm saying?
yeah.
If I could prove that they picked him, I would tell you I could prove that they picked him. But since I know emphatically that I can't, that's my guy. Since I know what he's been through, that's my guy. And I'm not going against my guy.
Yeah. I don't think Bryson's going against him. And he made a prolific comment. He said that MAGA's bigger than Trump. And I think I gotta agree with that to some extent. Because look at how the Republicans acted and the Democrats. They had to like create a whole new term just to save Republicans. They're like, okay, these are Republicans and these are MAGA Republicans. You know what I'm saying? But MAGA Republicans weren't even.
I don't agree with that. But I don't agree with that.
Okay.
Because if Donald Trump came out tomorrow and Donald Trump said, MAGA is no more, there's no such thing as MAGA, I condemn MAGA, that would be crazy.
Yeah.
So it starts with him, it ends with him.
Okay,
and
that's a good point.
It's on him to pass the torch. See, if a politician is smart, they would look at this as, and I don't want to say it on here, but I got to say it because at some point somebody's going to say it. So I got to say it so people know to also look for it too. Even the left would look for this. Like even the left, let's say not the next guy that gets it. Maybe the next guy that gets it is another good guy, right? We finally start to clean up the system and see a lot of change, right? But then the next guy that comes, he's a good guy, but he's naive. He picks a VP that's really a rhino, right? So this guy plays his part and acts like it's da-da-da-da. Now he gets the key to the mega crowd because he got the VP spot.
I see what you're saying.
They vote him in. He finished the rest of the destruction. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
that's what I'm afraid of.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So you got to be worried of that too. So I just feel like it starts with him and it ends with him. I don't see him passing the torch off pretty much to somebody, whereas people are going to have to earn it now. You know what I mean? Like, because that nigga earned it. So someone else is going to have to step up and actually earn it. And I think that a lot of people will be looking towards Ron DeSantis because in spite of him taking money from people that I might not like that he did and everything else and whatever the case may be, I know that overall people like his temperament.
Yeah.
You know, people like his temperament. And I don't see him beating Trump, but I for sure see him getting that VP spot, possibly. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And I for sure see him definitely 2028 running and
talking to the mic so to make sure people can hear you.
I see him 2028 possibly running and winning. I think
After
Jim Jordan
one.
earned it too. I think Jim Jordan, someone said they think Jim Jordan earned it. This is not my pick. See, what people don't understand is that in politics, it's not what we want, it's what we get, right? There's going to have to be a compromise for the Republicans once Trump takes the nomination again, right? Because a lot of Republicans are still going to be afraid. They're not going to let Jim Jordan be a VP pick.
So
not going to happen.
Brandon V, thank you for the clarification because I did not have this background, but he said Bryson's not going against MAGA. They removed him from a show because of his stance on the LGBT. Now that's been another big fight, and I'd like to get your thoughts on that. It seems like,
well, in that case, hey, Bryson, brother, I'm sorry. And you know what? See, because I'm man enough first and foremost to admit when I'm wrong.
Yeah.
You understand? I apologize for thinking that you turned your back on MAGA. It seems as if they've turned their back on you. Yeah, you understand?
Over the LGBT
just make sure I do that.
stuff.
I'm a man first. I'm a man first.
Absolutely. And I'm sure the crowd appreciates that. And I appreciate that because, you know, I was wrong in how I presented it. Well, that's basically, you know, the title of Bryson's video today. But he's been going hard at the rainbow community. And, you know, I think his gripe is that, Republicans are very. They have
Oh,
an
you said he
open.
did what? He be going what?
He been going hard at the rainbow people.
That's what's up. Yo, shout out to shout out to Bryson and to everybody that's upset and you wanna this is where the contradiction comes in. Like, this is why it's difficult for me, right? Because the majority of these people believe in God and the Bible and everything else. You know what I mean? And it's like, you can't cancel the man for his belief. You understand? Like, just ask him to not perform a record that may have been, disparaging to someone in the gay community, right?
Yeah.
Just ask him not to perform that. He got hit records that he could perform for y'all that talks nothing about that.
Right.
So I'm not against, look, I'm not for it. Mark Levine just did a show. Mark Levine just did a show, right? And he condemned Minister Louis Farrakhan in it.
Okay.
He said, Minister Louis Farrakhan is an anti-Semite. He said a lot of things, right? And he said he wondered why this guy's got a platform, as if he was calling for his cancellation, right?
Okay.
And my whole thing is, you don't have to agree with Minister Farrakhan, right? You don't have to, and you also don't have to listen to him. If you never heard him speak, you would never even think that he's an anti-Semite. You would never know that he existed. Words offend you when you choose to allow them to offend you. And he became upset because he said, you're going to have to choose, or someone said you have to choose between the United States and Israel. Well, if someone is a United States citizen and they live in the United States of America, then they have to choose America. They live in America. And if he acts that, still in all, he shouldn't be condemned because he asked it. And if he says something against a group of individuals, you shouldn't cancel him because he said it, because no one cancels people when they talk bad about white men. I don't even have to talk. Let's not bring up black folks, because we know nobody gonna cancel nobody for talking bad about black folks. But look, you don't even get canceled for talking about white straight men. You can call a white straight man anything you want on television these days, and they're not gonna cancel you. They're not.
Right.
You can say what you want pretty much about Asians. They're not going to cancel you. They're not. But for some strange reason, you can't say something about the Jews without someone saying, let's cancel them. Now, I'm not saying you can't say F that person. I'm not saying you can't say you're an anti-Semite, F you. Fine, because that's your free speech. That's your retort. That's your right. And if we tell people we shouldn't hear someone because they're ignorant or they're saying something that's ignorant, right? Then we're saying that no one should hear how ignorant they are so they know how to correct it and change it. We're saying that instead of even giving this person a chance to say what they're saying, so we can say, oh, that's not right, this is what it is, we should just
cancel
just cancel them.
Yeah.
And for Mark Levin, it's hard because he's a constitutionalist. So how could you be that and be for free speech, but then you calling for him to be canceled? You don't have to like what he's saying. You don't. It's your right to not like what he's saying. You can create content that refutes everything that he says. You have a great enough platform to do so.
Right.
But you don't gain black folks to come watch you when they see you just complaining about him, because you're not giving them a solution.
Yeah. Nah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Where do you stand on the whole rainbow thing as far as Republican? Do you think that they need to create a space for the rainbow community and be very accepting, especially of the T people, the T in LGBT? Do you think that they should be, open arms to that community or completely ignore
I don't
that?
think that. I think that community shouldn't exist. There's no straight community. There's no straight community. There's no straight man parade. There's no parade where straight people get to fornicate in the street while little kids are being held on leashes. Let's call a spade a spade. I don't need to celebrate someone's sexuality. That should be celebrated in the privacy of someone's home, with all due respect. Nothing should never happen to anybody because they dress different, because they love different, because they love the same, because they talk different, because they appear different. Then all that heinous shit, throw it out the window. But I shouldn't know what your sexuality is. Only you and the person that you choose to be with should know that. My children shouldn't see that there's a flag depicting that you choose a sexual purpose, because you're sexualizing my child with that information. It should be private. I'm not saying that people shouldn't have rights. I'm not saying that people shouldn't be, but there shouldn't be no group. This is where the lies come in. This is a crayon box. And when they run out of colors, guess what they start doing? They start putting colors together and making special packs of crayons, mood blacks, all different type of shade of blacks, black ass black, black ass nigga black, black shade black, blacker than black, they're black to black. And it's all bullshit. It's bullshit. If they deserve to live, I deserve to live. If they deserve the right to dress how they want, then I deserve the right to dress how I want. If they deserve the right to be treated with respect, then I deserve the right to be treated with respect. But I shouldn't know what they sexual preference is, because I don't walk around with a t-shirt with my penis on it. I don't walk around with my number saying, hey, I'm straight. Baby mamas, holla at me, looking for sugar mamas. I don't have a flag that depicts that I'm just straight ramming broads all day. There's nothing that I'm just saying, out of respect, I do believe that everyone should be treated right. And I do believe that we should all have representation, but it shouldn't be under the guise of our color, and it shouldn't be under the guise of our sexual preference that's perverted, and it shouldn't be under the guise of class, like where you live, or everyone should be treated with respect, period. Doesn't matter. If someone hits you and you're rich, they should be arrested. If someone hits you and they're poor, they should be arrested. It's just what it is. If someone whoops you out and they're beating you, and doesn't matter if they're calling you gay while they're hitting you or not. The simple fact that they're beating you and it's not a confrontation that you started, and they're doing it because you're different in itself, is a hate crime. It's a crime of prejudice. I'm not against nobody. I got a nephew that like dudes. I love my nephew. I love my nephew to death. I would die for my nephew. But my nephew is not trying to show kids how he give it up. He's not.
This is true. This is true. Yeah, that's where I draw the line, man. When you start bringing kids into the situation, it gets really weird. I get pedo vibes from that shit. But anyway, I want to change gears a little bit. Have you seen this emergence of videos of black kids beating up white kids at school, and this black on white violence? Are you seeing that on your timeline or not?
You know what? I think I've seen it a couple times, and you know what? I attested it to. Niggerism.
It's not race hate. It's not what do they call it?
All
a
right.
hate crime?
All right, look, that is definitely a hate crime. But look,
Okay.
how does it start? Like, who gets, these kids are not just waking up and just hating people, right?
Okay.
Because what are these kids seeing every single day on the news? White men are this. White men are that. White men are racist. White men vote for Trump, they're racist. White men hate white men. All the while, AOC says white men are racist. She sucks a white penis. Ilhan Omar, white men are racist. She sucks a white penis. You have Kamala Harris. Let me do her neck. Let me do her neck. Because of white nationalism. She sucks a white penis too. So I think that comedy hour now, y'all. I think that brothers just get mad and they like, man, white dudes getting all the action. So when they see white dudes walking through the projects in the hood, they like, they gonna get their dick sucked right now. We gotta do something about this. They're too popular out here. They getting too much hate. We used to get all the hate. Now the white brothers getting all the hate. So when you see two Ken dolls walking through the hood, and they, you know, them white boys walk tall, man. They got their chests out. They got their chests out. They walking through the hood, and they don't got no bop. They got a stroll. You know what I'm saying? They're like, yeah, looking for a shorty. Brother, see that shit? Like, oh no. They winning too much. Winning too much. They Eminem still platinum. We gotta stop these niggas. Nah, real joke. I mean, all jokes aside, though, the hate comes from the media, and it's not even in the music, because the music doesn't even depict racial hate as much as the television programming does, and as well as the social media algorithms are pushing. So this is happening because of it allowing itself to become a trend. Because one, if social media platforms can censor you and I for saying things about Cap 19, if they can do that, right, then why can't they see a post which is violent and see it, flag it, and remove it?
Yeah.
Why allow it to become sensationalized?
Well, people have said that on Twitter that would be censorship, and we need to see that. Sonny Johnson's retort was, because that's what Uncle Hotep said. Uncle Hotep said we need to just censor all these violent videos like TikTok does and like YouTube does. I believe YouTube, doesn't let you do fight videos as well. But Sonny was like, well, nah, because when something happens to a black individual by these cops, we need to see that too. Whenever cops commit crimes,
but that's different. That's different. That's government. The police is the government. But what we're talking about is trending violence between children. It's not even trending violence between adults, because then that footage we could send that footage out. Yeah, because then we can lock these guys up. You know what I mean? Like, but these are just kids. Yeah, and in most cases, juveniles. Yeah. So if you really think about it in terms of just the legality of it, I don't believe that you can record minors engaging in crimes, because I don't think that they can be charged with a crime to a certain age. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken.
Depending on the state, probably, yeah.
Depending on the state. Yeah. Right? Because in certain states you have to have permission, right? There has to be, it has to be or you have to be engaged with the party. But now you're disseminating the information in another state. Yeah. And we don't really realize that applies too. Just because you're in social media and it went from somewhere, you in the state that you're in and disseminating it, some things may apply to you too as well. Right. So even just because of that, social media platforms could have just been like, no. You know what I mean? Like, if let it go on the news, let the news talk about it. And then once the news talk about it, then social media platforms can kind of let it usher in, but, put something in context like they did with Cap 19. Yeah. You understand? They could even put links in there to videos that talk about how horrible this is. Like, there's nothing to combat it. Right. You cannot talk about Cap 19 on any social media platform outside of Twitter where they won't put something in the caption from somebody giving feedback, right? Yeah. So when you see these videos that are highly volatile, violent,
or J19 too. J19's another one. I'm sorry, Jan 6. I got a disclaimer on my Instagram today because I posted the QA shaman. It was just a meme talking about how Capitol Police were escorting them around the building, which happened, and Instagram. Absolutely. I mean, I saw it with my own two eyes. Maybe it's deep fake or something, but Instagram hit me with a warning or some shit that said they had to put my thing in the context. So you're absolutely right. They'll do it for everything around their agenda, but the stuff they probably should, there's no mediation on it. You're right about that.
But so now, why can't they put a link there that's a hyperlink to things online and sites online that can help people deal with it, or help people report it, or help people get help to deal with it? Like, why aren't these things available? Yeah. Right. But they're sensationalized. The violence is sensationalized.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this, because this also came up in the same conversation. They're saying that white men are now acting like they're victims. They're having the same, for example, they say, black community, promoting victimhood and acting like victims. And then these videos go around of black kids attacking white kids. And they say, oh, this is hate crimes and all this stuff. And they're saying, what they're saying is, the whole 13 and the 50 trope. And they're basically saying that, like Scott Adams jokingly said, like white people need to get away from black people, and black people are dangerous, and white men are under attack. How do you respond to those types?
Who you said that?
Which part?
You said who said black men are dangerous?
Well, I think the 13 and 50 crowd. The people online that always say that.
Not all black men are dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
It's like not all white men are dangerous, right?
Right.
If anything, I think that removing people from one another produces even more ignorance, and it removes the possibility of these group of individuals ever coexisting. Again, this is separatism. This is people who have an idea to divide a nation.
Right.
It's not even a smart thing, because if there is, and I do believe that if there is a goal to reduce the population of melanated people, if all of them are in one targeted area, like they are in Africa, and they constantly are poisoning Africans, what makes you think that they just won't poison the concentrated people that are in the area, like in Flint, Michigan? People don't understand how the game of life is played, but the chessboard is in every single toy store that you ever walk into, and it's on every computer that people have. It's even on their phone. Some people don't play chess. And when I hear people say that the races don't mix or whatever, how can someone be racist if they're willing to breed with you, knowing that the baby will come out and be considered black? In fact, will be black in most cases. They don't call Barack Obama a mulatto. They call him the first black president. How can you expect the world to be blacker? Because no matter who, if you're black, if you mate with somebody, you're just producing black babies anyway. So I just think that it's counterproductive. I think that, again, it's hate. People are preaching hate. Hate gets people paid. It gets people money. When you tell black people, don't let white people around you, this, that, and the third, all you're telling them is you become a bigger dot for your enemy. You alienate yourself from any help and any other resources and any other allies you may need in the future. And you'll continue to be lied to by these people because you'll listen to what they say instead of the life that you live. If more of those black kids was taken out of those ghettos, and if they was taken to white communities and just able to go play basketball there and just go chill and play ball with boys there and everything else, they would see how different it is. They would be appreciated, they would be accepted, and in some cases they may not be. I'm not saying it's going to be perfect in every situation, but that's life.
Right.
But I do believe that they would be accepted in a great deal in majority, and that simply be just because of hip hop, because of the music, because of the genre creating control over perception right now, which is used to change people's perception now because of hip hop alone. I just believe that you're going to be more welcome in these communities than not, right? So if we take more brothers out of the community and allow them to go to Job Corps, where they're able to interact with people from different races and everything else, and if we do, conduct overhaul of the Board of Education and allow the zoning to end and allow school choice to happen, then we'll have a lot more relationships, interracial, and we will have a society that wouldn't function on the hue of our color. It would just be more on the productivity of the individual. You know what I mean? Like, this should be the goal that we have. If we're going to change things, then we need to put vocational training back in the schools. And it would be my opinion to have kids bus and move from schools to school. I would never have a kid. He lives in Astoria, Queens. His school has a vocational program, and that's cool. He goes there 2 times a week, but instead of sending him to Astoria, Queens, let's send him to Long Island. Let's send him to Deer Park, Long Island. Let's get him in Deer Park on Long Island 2 days out the week or whatever. And let's bust him out there. We have the resources to do it. We're sitting there paying for people who shouldn't even be here. Now imagine what we would do if we stopped doing that shit and we really just start investing into our children in the communities. We won't have these situations. This is ignorance. It's not even about true race hate or anything like that. It's just stupid ass kids who parents are neglecting them, and they're seeing stuff on social media that's not being corrected, and that's not flagged. You don't have to remove it, but you can put something there like you do with Cap 19 that would give someone something to look at just to see an alternative opinion, but it does not happen.
Yeah.
And more so, they don't promote the Angela Statins, the Hotep Jesus, the Uncle Hotep. They don't promote the legends. They don't promote the great ones. They don't do that because the great ones aren't preaching hate. They're trying to tell you guys and everybody watching, like, look, we don't gotta hate each other. We really got to get it together because we got an enemy out there that's really salivating at the mouth.
I hate to harp on the bullshit, but I gotta harp on the bullshit.
Get it.
I'm having trouble with this thought, right? You said that there is a concerted effort. Did I hear that correctly? There is a concerted effort to attack black people. I just want to.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So there's definitely a concerted effort to attack black people. Now, here's my question, or my conundrum, the thing I've been thinking about. Does it make sense for black people to maybe separate is the word I'm looking for here, but also maybe it's like focus on yourself could also be a way of looking at it. But I think we include maybe we include white people in the conversations too much. Like we're always worried about what they think and what they say and all of that. But I'm just trying to come to terms with the whole black nationalism thing, right? Like I think that nepotism and insulating your culture from other groups would be beneficial to protect the group, no?
I think that if you're going to say this about black nationalism, then you have to tell the truth. If the black man is the father, the mother, the brother, and the sister to civilization, then well, that means that the black man and the black woman created civilization. And if the black man and the black woman is the brother and sister to civilization, then that means that it's their duty to protect civilization. Now, I say that to say that unless they're straight of the Caucasus Mountains, which most English men and those who are of the bloodline of Vlad the Impaler, outside of those genetic alterations, everyone else is black. We create every hue that you can think of.
Uh-oh.
So if you see somebody, because he may appear to be white to you, but that person is Sicilian, and that person's ancestor is Hannibal of Carthage, that person has black all in their history.
Uh-oh.
So as the black man and the black woman, if you're the father and the mother to civilization, you got to civilize civilization. It's not my duty to hate my child because my child is different, but it's my duty to be a father to my child and teach my child how to be civilized and teach them what they are and where they come from and of me. The reason why the information is always twisted and is always said to be a lie because they don't want us to actually educate our children. By breaking up the home, you would have to do it first psychologically. When they did it psychologically, they did it from us, separating ourselves from humanity. There were times, distant times in the past, where all of us as humans would come together and just sing. We would stand on the grass and we would just sing and harmony because everything here has a frequency and we always have known that. But they removed us psychologically. Then they put us in classes and individuals in groups, further breaking up our lineage, further breaking up our legacy. Then they stole and took our history and information from us. And then they went and then they lied and gave it to people who do not really have it. Right? So now you do all of this. You have children that's running out there and they don't know where they come from. They don't know where they come from. They think they're white, but there's no such thing as that. Because the original man made you. You are of the original man. You are me. I am you. That's why we get lungs from each other. As long as it's the same blood type, we good to go.
That's controversial.
That's why we can get. Yeah, that's why we can get. That's why we can get these parts from each other. Yeah, of course we've been mixed and bred with. Everybody got a reptilian brain. Proof, in fact, that the reptilians is here. You don't gotta want to believe it, but I mean, it's in you. So the fact that the DNA and our RNA has been tampered, and they tampered with everyone's RNA, not everyone, not me, but they tampered with a lot of people's RNA during this last trip. They've done what essentially we've done in the past. There's no difference. There's nothing new under the sun. There's not a split of people. You can't have black nationalism without realizing that you are the creator of life. It's your responsibility. You got to make sure that you look after everybody. It doesn't matter what color your child is. You don't get to pick and choose how you love your child because your child is a different color. It just doesn't rock that way. I don't know why my thing is still showing like this going on your screen, but I see myself now live on mine, so I don't know why it's doing that.
You might have to change the settings in the camera, because these cameras, usually what happens is after 30 minutes, it's like a battery saver type mode.
Nah, and I shouldn't even be doing that though. That's crazy.
Because it's really happening like every interval. I do want to dive into what you were saying though about because I went on Rogan and y'all know
you had your way. You had your way.
I mean, it went viral on TikTok again and again and again, and it's gone viral recently. The white nationalists, or whatever they call themselves, I call them the 13 and 50 people, because that's what they just do. They run around screaming 13 and 50. So the 13 and 50s, I mentioned, the contributions.
Try the straight cam here. We should be straight here.
Okay. I tried, I talked about the contributions of Africans to the world, but more specifically, the native population, the black native population on the American continent. And that was quite controversial. Do you disagree that there were black natives?
There is Egyptian hieroglyphics in the Grand Canyon as we speak. Yeah. We have circumnavigated this planet over and over and over again. The lies of even the pyramids. Why would we have similar creations in South America that we do in which is now known as Egypt, but we'll just call it Kemet, right?
Yeah.
It's because there's no two and one alike unless they're alike and they're the same, right? So then that means that this is why they lie to civilization. Like I said, it's the psychological breakdown of the family first. See, you do that by telling your children they ain't of you because they look different from you. And it works. It works because there's a benefit. They put in order for this to work, they had to put a benefit behind it, right? So the benefit would have to be, oh, you can get this, or maybe, you'll feel this way, but you really don't feel or get anything, right? It's just fictitious. It's something that they only show you on TV, but in real life, it doesn't exist. Do you understand? Like, it really just doesn't exist because money really runs everything in real life. But in TV, they give you this programming that way you can feel good. You know what I mean? Like, you just feel good. Doesn't really mean shit because they're rich and you're not. They know what they're doing. They've breaking the household up first from the mind. Before there were even black slaves, white people enslaved white people. They tortured each other. They have a crazy history of torturing each other. But they come from us. And even when we went to the Caucasus Mountains and we started to breed with Neanderthals, creating another subhuman species, even after doing that, we still have to count ourselves responsible for the creations because we created it.
Tony, you sound like a black supremacist right now.
I do not. I sound like a man with accurate information. I'm like a highly educated man.
But that's not what the internets are gonna say. They're gonna say Hotep Jesus hosted one of these crazy radical black.
They're gonna say that nigga was handsome. He had the gold Jesus on too. They better get the gold Jesus too. Y'all see the gold Jesus? They better get the gold Jesus too. I went there on them tonight.
Somebody just asked, when can we not be racist? People gonna construe this as racism. You can't tell white people that
This is not racism because there's no such thing. It's white and black people. We are all people, and we all come from the same source.
But you can't tell white people that they came from black people.
You can tell them that. You can tell them you are not white and I am not black. I am the Asiatic original man. And at one point in history, a lot of these continents were all smashed and put together. And what happens is every so few hundreds of thousands of years, the earth get funky and it shifts. And when it shifts, it shake things up. Things move around.
Yeah.
We tend to forget what happened, but somehow some structures remain and some things are recorded. And then we're left with trails of what we think happened, but it's not accurate. Like I said, they think that the pyramids, they didn't have technology we have now. That's because of their arrogance. They're not saying, look, these guys were so much smarter than us. We should be building some shit better than this now. They're not saying that. They're saying these guys were stupid. They weren't as smart as we are. So they couldn't have built this shit. Or they did it by mistake. It's arrogance. And again, it has nothing to do with a people of color. It has to do with the class of people. People will become something just so they can feel like they're better than everybody at it. It doesn't really necessarily matter what color the person is. But if you're going to call yourself a black man and a black woman, and you're going to say that I'm a black nationalist, then that means you have to love all people, because really and realistically speaking, all people are black. That's just it. Unless they come from Vlad the Impaler, unless they related to that bloodline, yeah, I know what I'm talking about, then they come from us. We are the same. There's no need for you to hate somebody because they look different than you. That's just your brother and your sister, and they look different. That's what it is.
Chad said, this that Yakub talk.
Nah, this that big boy talk. You know what I mean?
Oh man. I mean, I got a lot of hate when I said that the natives, there was a large black native population. I got a lot of hate. I still get a lot of hate. It's one of my most controversial takes that when I said on Rogan, frankly, I didn't think it was controversial when I said it. I just, that's what I learned,
What you should have done was, you should have just, while you was there sitting there, like one of your staff, you should have just had your finger on like and looked at them like, get it, and then had them get it and then pull it up and then give it to their guy. You understand? Like, because now it's like they got to look at it now, because some people are just not going to believe it because, well, I don't want to say it, but you a nigga. It's just like, that you got glasses don't mean they're gonna believe you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, first strike is you got them long dreads. Second strike, you black. They like, nah, I don't think I want to believe this nigga.
I mean,
I don't think I trust what he says is being accurate, but he looked like one of them, I love everything black and hate everything white. And that's not the case. It is what it is.
But I mean, even if you talk about the, black African origins of ancient Egypt, that information exists. We could show them that information. That's not going to change their mind. They're still going to, bring up King Tut and Greece and all this other shit. And Ptolemy.
All right. Well, Ptolemy is the reason why they have the Council of Nicaea, right? And Ptolemy is Cleopatra got her bloodline from him. That's the reason why they go to Cleopatra and be like, oh, she was white or whatever. She was a Ptolemy.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the reason why. But they don't go past her.
Right.
They don't go to Akhenaten.
Right.
Right. They'll tell you they don't know where Nefertiti is, but they tell you they know where Nefertiti is because they know where Nefertiti is.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah. Why
There's
do you
no
think,
benefit in showing you her corpse because she's a nigga.
why do you think that so many people have so much trouble accepting this information?
Because it destroys the hate. The money is in hate. What's the biggest money maker? Racial divide and hate. Oh boy, can't get enough of it. He's black, he's white, he's brown, he's yellow. What the fuck crayon is going on with the world today? It's not that. He's human, she's human, we're human. Treat me right. But if they don't do that, that's why they ask you what color you are and everything on that box. Why you think they do that? So they know how to treat you. That's why. If everybody in the ghetto start putting white on all that shit, you watch how the things change.
You talking about when they ask you your ethnicity on the applications?
Yeah,
and
but they
stuff?
do it on purpose. It's first of all, it's to make you feel like you have a voice in something that you really do not have a voice in. Remember what I said earlier in the show, y'all? Some people just give you a platform just so they don't do shit for you. But it make you think that they love you. You'll always be there for them. You'll be fighting for that person like they do the perm, Al Sharpton. No, because Al Sharpton was dead. No, he used you for media coverage, let you speak and stood beside you and made money off of that shit, and then he left your ass and then shit changed. Your baby's still dead.
Al Sharpton. Oh man. Jay's World HJ, you put up 100 black points for that take on Rogan. Yo, but even I get hate from black folks on that take when I say I got black folks that'll fight me tooth and nail when I say there was black natives. I'd be like, damn, like you don't like it either? Like,
Yo, a lot of people ain't gonna like to taking it, but the original man is the original man. The original woman is the original woman.
so you're saying
Right.
the first human being on this planet was a black man and a black woman?
The first functioning human being on this planet it's not black and white. They were Asiatic. They were people of color, but they didn't even look like us. They looked more like more like a tribe that's like close to Australia. Like they weren't just like us. Like it didn't happen like that. Like
I see what you're saying.
yeah, the tighter the hair, it was due to evolutionary change. Like it had to happen. The eyes of white people, they're lighter. Why they're lighter? Because as they moved up north, or as they lived up north, their eyes needed to be lighter to reflect the light of the snow. If anyone has dark eyes that's watching this, if you ever stand outside when it just fresh snow, that shit just white your eyes. You're like, oh shit. It just makes you feel crazy because you have dark eyes. Well, people who lived in snow needed white eyes because it reflected the light. It gave them a better perception in the snow. That's the reason why their eyes are lighter. Hence, even the reason why their skin lost the melatonin, and then it gained strength. Whereas when you and I get a cut, we'll get a keloid. But when a person who's white get a cut, they almost never get a keloid. And it was due to the fact of the harsh cold and conditions. So people are not going to like hearing it because people don't want to be associated with white people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not the cool thing, right?
Yeah.
It's not the cool thing to admit that you created some shit, and instead of fixing what you created, and I'm not even talking about white people, I'm talking about civilization. And instead of you fixing what you created, you would elect to hate what you created and then the people that you create within it. How do we hate what we created at first, right? Well, we let them destroy the air. We let them destroy the water. We sold ourselves. We sold our women. It's a natural resource. The babies are in abortion clinics and not on birthing tables. So it's all gone, right? Then before they did that, they got you to a point where they even broke up the home. So now the man and woman don't even live together. They can't live together because if she's getting money from the government and he's there and they come do their inspection, like she's a prisoner and they're inspecting her cell, they'll report her, she'll get in trouble. She can't have a man there. But then even before that, they told us we weren't men, right? We were property. We didn't have the right to speak. But even before that, they told us we can enslave and have property to whoever we wanted. There was a ton of rich black men who had black slaves. Then you got to go even before that. Some people were in the mountains and they were bred and made by us. We went up there. Some of us lighter than others, some of us, darker than others. And then some of us went and found Neanderthals. And we also made it with Neanderthals too as well. There was different type of humans all throughout history. Giants. The giants couldn't have just been black people either, right? Because there's bones. There's bones. Giants, 33 feet tall. So there had to be other humanoid individuals here as well. But if we're talking about humans, people in which that we can swap organs with because of matching blood types, they come from us. We're all the same. There is no color. There is a lie. And you and I are not responsible for what happened 200 years ago. It's a fact. You and I cannot blame our ancestors for fighting or not fighting. We are 200 years removed from the last incident, right? Let's just say 100 years, because let's just say it's civil rights. So even 100 years removed, right? Even at 100 years removed, I can't fault my ancestors for what they did or didn't do. I can only act on now. If I want to change the world, I have to build an army. And I cannot do that by alienating the very thing I created. And it doesn't matter, it does not matter what story you choose to think of. I don't care. If you believe it's all connected, and if you know better, then you have to do something. You can't have the information and then not act on it. You can't tell yourself you are this and then say, but not for these people. You're a bigot. You can't call yourself a god. It's brothers who do it. I'm God. You can't do that and not be a god for all people. You can't be a messenger just for one people. You have to be a messenger for everybody. Sure, some people distinctly may need to hear what you have to say, but shit, if it benefits them, then it should benefit everybody. Look at the common problem that we have, because the people at the top, they aren't bickering about color. They're stealing everything they can from us. They're laughing their asses off. No one hates anyone of color, and it's all theater. They argue in front of people, say this, that, and the third, and they call each other colleagues. It's a fucking facade. I refuse to wake up another day and look at somebody and not take responsibility for the information that I have and also for the knowledge that I have. Information and knowledge to me is something totally different. To me, knowledge is experience. It's me knowing. And information is something I could have possibly read or got from a valuable source, but could change later on. But just from my knowledge, from my own studies, I have never found anything that has been said to be different. So if you have the theory of a genetic creation or an evolutionary creation or a breeding creation, you still created it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's still your responsibility. Doesn't matter.
Whether you
You
breathe,
cannot.
whether you believe Yakub, Darwin, or the Bible, either way, either way, you got to be a guardian.
Either way, you got to be a guardian.
Yeah.
Either way, you got to be a guardian.
Yeah.
Yo, there was different types of humanoids that walked this planet for thousands of years. And out of all of that, we've survived, right? And there are beings that I believe that are here that, you know, we don't get to address them. These individuals we don't see, but these are the people that are pulling the strings.
Yeah.
These are the entities that are behind the puppets that we see day in and day out, lying to us and having us fight one another. I only took offense to the clown comment, but I personally don't hate no conservatives. I just know what the lie is. So I'm gonna call it when I see it. I'm gonna call it out, because if I don't, then I'm not gonna be happy with myself. Because what if that person say, you know what, he right. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna do something different.
Mm-hmm.
But then if I'm right and you change, that's good for you. Change don't benefit nobody but yourself first.
Right.
Change can't benefit you. If you change, brother, it cannot benefit me first. It has to benefit you first.
Right.
And it trickles down to everybody else around you. So if I can't say something to critique something, then it is what it is. But then you just know different than the left. Anybody on the right saying, oh, I don't like that he said this and the third. Nah, I don't like his approach or opinion, and that's cool. I don't have to like everything that he said. But there was one thing I agree with, and it was this. Because people are always, you know what? It was a story. I know I'm babbling off, but I got to tell you this story. I'm gonna let you have
killing
it
right now.
There was a story, right? And he says, you take the basketball, and he says, everybody's watching. He says, can you make the shot all the time? God says, sure, no problem. He says, okay, shoot the ball 5 times. And this he got this idea because Einstein said the original story, right? But this is another guy who did it as like a coach. He did it to show, you know, his you know, his team. But the story I know came from Einstein. He said, shoot 5 shots, and on the last shot, miss it, and watch how your team react. And he said it to his star player because he wanted his star player to realize he not a star when he fuck up. So he took the ball. They was like, yeah, they was cheering him on. He took it. No problem. Second, third, fourth. Now he get to the last one. And he does the air ball on purpose. Everybody clowning him. Everybody's laughing. And then he told his student, you see, you only a star when you winning in front of them. And it doesn't matter how many times you get it right. The moment you get it wrong, that'll be the first thing they remember.
That's so true. That's so true. Because that reminds me of my Rogan video. I mentioned, I misquoted who wrote the book. They came before Columbus. You know, I'm just spitting out a bunch of sources, and I misquoted. It was Ivan Van Sertima. And that's the one thing my critics ran to. They was like, oh, you know, he didn't read the book because he don't know who the author is. And I'm just like, yo, you went to the one thing I misquoted and skipped over everything I got right. Yo, that story hit home. I gotta tell my kids that one. That's a good one, man. Oh, man.
I think that when you get it right often, the only thing people can point out is that they see you get it wrong.
Yeah.
Shout out to the brother in the building that said, yeah, high as a kite on weed, talking crazy. How would he know it's weed?
Yo, chat just talking.
I mean, but no, I just wanna say this to the chat, right? How would you know? You can think it's one thing, right? but what if it's just CBD for someone that has a back injury? What if the lights in here? And what if I've been up all day? And what if I was in the gym for 5 hours? You know, like, I mean, what if I was in there for 5 hours yesterday? What if I was in there for like 2 hours today? What if I was running around all day today? What if I had stuff I had to do? What if I'm just tired? Why can't it be the worst thing? Yo, at the end of the day, bro, I'm just saying that. I just wanted to point out to say, because there was so much that I said here that was right. But the one thing that someone felt was wrong, they had to point out. I'm not trying to hate on the person. They got their opinion, right?
Yeah.
But the one thing, that's what I'm trying to explain. I'm like, it's present in the chat. That's all I'm trying to say. Like, it's just present in the chat. Like, there's so much that I've said that was so positive. Unification, you know, ideas on how to unify, you know, each other, pointing out the hypocrisy, you know, pointing out the obvious, talking about the bankers. There was so much of it, you know. I mean, when they feel like you got it wrong, oh,
Here they come. Never fails. Never fucking fails, yo. Let me go to super chats. Rudy the Vet Russo, he said McConnell, Romney, Graham, Rubio, Grassley, lots of corruption, uniparty, Republicans holding that party back from freedom. Kenneth Bowman, appreciate you, said paying his dues, and he sent me a cash app. I appreciate you, Kenneth. That's real nigga shit right there. Chad Lamoni said, not to sound like a broken record, but Bush's, McConnell's, and Lindsey Graham's are the Republicans, and the actual rhinos are the ones who buck the establishment. I like his take. That's Chad's thing. Chad's thing is that, you know, people who, like, good people, good conservatives, are actually Republican name only, and the people who are Republicans are the people that are the bad guys. Like, you know, the Bushes, the McConnells, and the Lindsey Grahams. Because Republican doesn't mean Republican anymore. It means, you know, some new bullshit. I like his, that's a nice little philosophical take he got right there. Hotep, you want to respond to that?
I think that there is Trump Republicans and Republicans. And even if Jim Jordan wasn't considered a Trump Republican, he's the Trump Republican. I think that even though Matt Gaetz might not be considered a Trump Republican, he's a Trump Republican. I think that there are Trump Republicans and then there are Republicans. So there are people who care. There are people who care about the country. There are people who are trying their best to do what they can, but they're not in the in crowd. They're not with the cool kids. Because if they found out how much baby raping and all type of other crazy stuff was really going on, they would lose their minds. So they're not letting these people in. You know what I mean? Like, they're not letting Miss Green in. They're not going to let her in. You know, they're absolutely not. She would spill the beans on everything. So I just feel like the Trump Republicans are the ones that aren't in the cool kids room. And the cool kids room is basically the room full of the thieves, the liars, and the criminals. I think there are some Republicans that toe the line of being a Trump Republican, like McCarthy, and he did so giving Tucker those tapes by, you know, trying to appease us and make us happy. But I think that it would have been better if he just would have just released them to the public on the national government website, and then all the documents could have just been released, and not for Tucker to see and say or this, that, and the third. For it to be indisputable for your eyes, yourself, to go there and see the footage hour by hour, have it in order so we can see it by the hour, step by step, right? And everything step by step that we see, we can see for ourselves. Why just give it to Tucker?
Yeah.
Because it's done to appease a base. The Godfather is coming back. See, the thing is, they pissed a lot of people off when they cheated my boy, put this Joker in there, and the Joker messed up everything.
Yeah.
Because for sure, there were some people like, all right, well, I ain't really vote for him, but he in there, they gonna do something for black people. They got Kamala, something's gonna happen, and then nothing happens.
Mm-hmm.
nothing happens. You understand? Like
Yep.
nothing. Before Trump got cheated, he was talking about 500 billion platinum plans. You know, he was talking,
Yeah.
and we know when he talk, he be doing, right? I'm
Right.
just saying. So I just think that they created a monster. And I believe that when Trump runs, if he runs and brings that energy that he had the first time he ran, and not only that, you know, like he really, you know, starts to move like he should, I think that Black America is going to vote for Donald Trump. I think they're going to come out crazy for Donald Trump. I think that if he took the time to actually engage the African American community and just keep it a whole 100, look, they ain't doing nothing for y'all. Again, I told you. Like, don't even hold it back. Like, look,
Right.
told you. He got to go to the mic. He got to be like, didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you? I told you. Nothing.
Yeah.
They gave you nothing. That's what he needs to do.
Yeah.
He needs to say that. And he needs to say, I offered you $500 billion fucking dollars. They gave you nothing. So he needs to say it.
Yeah.
So people could think about it. He needs to point out the border's wide open. 1 million or so Mexicans just came in here. You give them 5 years of breeding here under these conditions, they're going to outnumber y'all indefinitely.
Yeah.
By a lot.
Yeah.
A whole lot. Because and he need to come out and say it because they killing y'all babies. Yeah. Send you to the abortion clinic, chop up your baby, take the parts, sell the parts for money so they can experiment on the parts, and then tell you, now you can go live your life now. Now you have a chance to go and be somebody. Because being a mother means nothing. They got it so, the left got it so screwed up. All you got to do is say, and then after that, you got to say the left got it so screwed up because being a mother means nothing because all you have to do is be a man and elect to dress different. And what you fought, your ancestors fought for, what you wake up every day and have to deal with being, means absolutely nothing because a misogynist can really just come and take it from you. And that's real misogyny.
This is true. This is true. And nobody's seeing it. Nobody's seeing it that way.
It's real. This is real. This is real. I mean, it's not the guy saying, let me love my women, right?
Yeah.
That's not. That's a man who's got a lot of energy and women who are smart enough to know they're going to win with him, right? So he's not a misogynist because what are the women? Why do we absolve the smart women who are making a decision to really be loved? Yet we will go after the guy. But when a guy elects to remove a woman's womanhood, he is cheered for it. They give him medals on a day that was supposed to be for women. It's just, I can't make it up. I can't make it up.
I can't wrap my mind around it. Today I was thinking about, I saw Smile in the timeline, they tweeted about the gender wage gap. And I was just like, wait a second. If a man becomes a woman, how does that affect the gender wage gap? Who's he taking money away from?
Yeah. And then it's like, when a guy gets locked up now, you just get locked up and say, no, I'm a woman.
Yeah, now you locked up with the ladies.
And now you locked up with the ladies. And they can't keep you in solitary confinement because that's cruel and unusual, right?
Yeah.
And now you macking with the sisters.
I know one thing. If I ever got to do time, I'm identifying as a woman. As soon as I get there.
As soon as I get in cuffs, I'm a woman.
Oh, man. Upside down world.
Oh, man.
Shit don't make no sense, yo.
No, it's not supposed to. This is how the devil works because confusion is the best medicine. Confusion is the best medicine.
You say
Because if
that.
they're not confused and they wake up and they see how lost they are, then they F. People wake up and see how bad things really are, man. They realize the fucking house is burning. They've been partying so long and they've been in the living room not realizing the kitchen is all burnt up. So now when the music is cut off and they got to really deal with it, it's fucking too late. The fire's all around them. And that's what everybody's going to have to deal with at some point. So people who are watching this, I'm going to say this too. This is something I'm doing. I don't know how much longer I have, but I'm going to just give you some advice. I'm going to be with him in Austin. He's coming to Austin. So when he's in Austin, I'm going to make sure that he's straight while he's out here.
Appreciate that.
Because I'm in Texas. So he's
April 25th to the 27th.
April 25th to the 27th. So from the 25th to the 27th of April, I'm going to be in Austin. So hopefully he'll just give me some tickets. That way I ain't got to pay out of pocket. But I'll just be sitting in attendance, and I'll be learning and I'll be getting educated too, because that will be the future. But remember, there will be a transitional period if in fact everything does collapse. So go start getting yourself some gold and silver coins, and also look into copper. All right. Let the copper be the last choice. Stay away from buying diamonds. I know the guy with the diamonds all on them, but look to get more rubies and emeralds because they're more precious. They have more value. They will always have more value. Rough cut stones, emeralds are of choice. And go get gold coins and silver coins. Try to always get gold and silver. If you can't afford to get a bunch of gold, there's nothing wrong with getting silver. It's real money. That's real money, because there could be a collapse, or even during a reset, the money that you have is fiat. It's not real. It's fictitious. It's just a note. The more you have, the deeper in debt you really are. We really don't realize it that way. When they move over to an accredited system, it will be a lot different. All right. And they're going to go to it eventually. And there will be cryptocurrency involved. They're going to regulate it. It's going to be regulated. And we're going to get forward to that way. The best way to, in my opinion, to make sure that your transition is going to be smooth is to make sure that you have real money, which is gold and silver as well. We get the Bitcoin, or it's not, I don't think it's Bitcoin now. Sorry, what coin is it now?
Bitcoin, Syscoin. Yep.
Yeah. So we invest in the Bitcoin still. But we also make sure that we get money, gold and silver, and don't be afraid to get your hands on copper. All right. So I don't know how much longer I got, King.
Nah, we got you.
All right.
We still got some super chats to get through here. Yeah, he's spitting, yo. He there's some bars up in this goddamn interview. Hotep Con. Shout out to both of y'all. The youth needs y'all voice. Appreciate you, man. Daniel Hawk, the new rhetoric is 3 and 58 now. Well, that's much better, right? Like, I don't know if 3 is accurate. I'd have to look at the FBI stats, but saying 13 and 50 or 13 and 60 just wasn't accurate. Like, let's say the real population that's actually committing violent crime. So if it's 3 and 58, then maybe that's better. Daniel Hawk said, Bible talks about treasures in the snow, vast fields of frozen methane sit on the ocean floor. If a whole field exploded at once, it would be enough to move a continent over the liquid mantle. I didn't know that. The more you know. Steph Colonel, breaking news, Hotep Jesus has just been banned from CPAC and the Daily Wire. Tony X and Hotep Jesus side quest tour Las Vegas, August 17th, 2023. Yo,
they don't want me to bring the comedy out, man. I'm telling you, man. That's when I ain't got to hold back at all, man. Yeah, it's going to be funny and sad at the same time. They're going to be like, this nigga Tone.
I've been putting together my stand-up. I got a nice little bit. I got about a good 7 minutes so far.
Yo, you know what's crazy? I think that we might be able to make something happen, Captain.
Yeah?
Because, yeah, man, I got a good 10-minute bit right now, man, that I know for sure knocking.
Yeah?
Yeah, man.
I gotta take mine to the stress factory and test it out, crowd test it.
Yeah, I think I might have to follow suit, man. You gotta let me know when you're gonna do it, because if you really think about doing it, then I might have to go sit in the audience and we do like the greats did.
Yeah,
I sit and I watch. I take my notes. You know what I'm saying, and I go up. I do me, and then you take your notes. I come down. You let me know. You know what I'm saying, but. Yeah, man, I'm with it, man.
Yeah, I'm
Good, man.
I've been putting it together little by little. Cannon Hotep, what up, Cannon? He said, spitting straight facts. That's when I rock with you, HJ, when you said blacks were already here. Salute, Cannon. I appreciate you, man. Shout out to Cannon. Hotep Con tickets on sale right now, hotepnation.com. Make sure you go get your Hotep Con tickets August 17th. Cassius Kane said, knowledge is power, application is wisdom. Real talk. Real talk. SMS for Houston, I guess, maybe, or who? $4.99. I appreciate you. I appreciate all the super chats. Tony, great chat, man. It was great chopping it up with you today, man. Your information is in the description box. Y'all can follow him over at Twitter at Montega. Get in tune with all his social media channels, including his Instagram. His Instagram is definitely lit and on fire. Watch our previous conversations because we had another conversation on this channel. So go watch that one too. I'll probably have to link it to this as well. But I appreciate you coming on the channel, man, and real fire conversation, bro.
Man. Thank you very much, brother. I hope you come on my podcast soon. I want to be able to give you your flowers. You know what I'm saying? I would love to have you on my platform.
When I'm in Austin,
just so I
we
can
should
interview
do it.
you. Yeah. And I want to talk about the Joe Rogan interview on my podcast.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think that it would benefit because a lot of my audience, they know how I feel and they're in agreement to what I'm saying. And I think that what you went through was just a lot of that on the hate. You know what I mean? It just is what it is.
I just hate that the clips that have gone viral didn't portray Joe Rogan as the interview happened. Like, it was like they chopped it up to make Joe Rogan look bad. That's why when I see it, I don't share it, because I'm like, nah, that's not how our conversation went. Y'all making it seem like I sunned him, and that's not what happened. We had a legit conversation, and he had legit curiosity, and he was fascinated by the conversation. But the way they chopped it up was very misleading, like it was some gotcha moment. And it wasn't that at all, So that's why.
And Joe's like such an iconic guy. It's just like they don't even understand like how y'all screwing it up for somebody, because he's the black Joe Rogan and this is Joe Rogan. You know what I mean? Like for real, like he's the black Joe Rogan and this is Joe Rogan. And it's not like he's even trying to be disrespectful, but y'all couldn't even help yourselves. And y'all and that's the reason why they're probably calling you some black nut job or black, is because of how the
edit came out.
The edit is being, sent out there. You know what I mean? As if you're some confrontational mad black man. Like, actually, no.
Yeah.
Black man built this planet with his bare hands.
Right.
He sat in space and then he spit. And then he shit it, and then he rolled it in his, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like he said that, you know what I mean? But it is what it is, bro.
It is what it is, man. I appreciate you, man. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure y'all go get some tickets, man. HotepNation.com. Go get the Hotep Con tickets. I'll see y'all in Vegas, man. I'm out of here. Salute.
Didn't listen to me then, I bet they feel me now. Time don't let me lose it. The booth not about to prove it. I said goes and pursue it. You the best to never do it. Invest my money talking fluent, stupid, ducking the Judas. It broke my heart, but over my eyes, you have no honor, I have no choice. Chasing the commas till I'm a goner. Been left for a minute. On my way home, mama, I promise, got caught up in it. Damn. Everybody eats when I'm batting at the plate. First, second, third, home, $1 million bet.